Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Gene Alec here, another episode of Section 300. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're here again today on 8/23. By the time you guys watching this, 8/24. Both will supply as Mamba Day for Kobe. His birthday is 8/23. 8/24 is his day. That all of LA celebrates and the world celebrates as we all are fans of his. We want to talk about him and his impact, and then we'll get more into some other things going on in the world of basketball as well. But to start here, before we jump into it first, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Continue to like, rate, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff for us. Thank y'all for tuning in as you guys do a lot of great stuff on the way for you guys as we get geared up. Now jumping into things here with Kobe. Again, like I said, today's his birthday. Happy to be here, always, forever, celebrating Kobe and continue on his legacy, living out his Mamba mentality as he instilled in us, as we are two folks here in LA, continuing to, that grew up as fans of his and love all he provided for us. And Alec, just share your first thoughts on Kobe, and I have a question for you in relation to him as we celebrate his day.
Yeah, well, definitely. Happy birthday to Kobe for sure. Forever has been, probably forever will be my favorite basketball player of all time. Growing up in LA, of course, like we looked up to Kobe as he seemed like an immortal figure, like just who he was as a player, and then seeing him like start his post-career life, you saw that he was attacking that phase of his life with the same tenacity that he did on the basketball floor, which was awesome to see, and just him being a father to his children, that kind of thing. So tough, obviously, to see him go so soon, but a happy day to celebrate all that he meant to us as fans and everyone around the world, as you said.
For sure, a day of celebration. I'm happy to be wearing the 24 today as something that we hold to us dearly every day as we go on, living out his mentality, as we said. Question I have for you, and we'll both answer, is what moment made Kobe your favorite player? You talked about yourself. You said he's your favorite guy. He's for sure my favorite player still to this day. What moment was it that locked him in for you as your favorite player ever?
Yeah, I mean, I already grew up like from birth. I was a Laker fan, you could say, because my dad was a my dad was a hardcore Laker fan from the get go. So I was rocking the number 8 since I think I was about 3 years old, maybe 2 and some change in that picture. But yeah, Kobe has been my favorite player since then. But as far as like moments that I could remember vividly in my mind as a child watching as a fan, I guess I was about 7 years old because it was April 2004. We had a big game in Portland, which Portland, if you're a Lakers fan, you know that the Lakers struggle a lot of times winning in the Rose Garden in Portland. Yeah, and this was one of those games that was towards the very end of the season. I forget if it was the last game or a couple games before it. So it was important for playoff seeding as well, too. And the Lakers were down late seconds of the game, and Kobe hits a 3 to send it into overtime. I believe it was over a guy who called himself a Kobe stopper as well. I'm blanking on his name. But he hit a really tough 3 over him to tie it. And then in overtime, he hits the game winner in that picture you can see there on the screen now. And it was elation. I can remember being in my living room with my family cheering as he hit that shot. And yeah, so that was one of the earliest Kobe moments I can remember vividly watching. Yeah.
One of many legendary moments. Definitely a moment that was great. And thank you for pointing that out for all you numbers folks. 0.8 on the clock. There you guys go. Have fun with that.
It was meant to be,
man. Definitely still an all-time moment there that, for sure, definitely solidified Kobe as their favorite for Alec and many others, I'm sure, as well. So a good one there on my end. As I joke about, I was born in Sacramento, so my first jersey wasn't a Kobe jersey. Actually, it was a Kings jersey. Chris Webber one, I believe it was.
We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you for
that. Whatever. Coming down here soon after that and living here essentially since then, I immediately got immersed into Laker culture beyond just LA culture. What was going on here with the Lakers as we at that time were jumping right into the 3P era with Kobe and Shaq, and then going on to the Kobe era by himself. And the moment that really stood out to me was, for one, yes, I was too young to fully remember that first 3P. I do remember a little bit just the celebration, I guess I'll say. I do know that there was a lot of cheering in the household during that time. Then going forward, once it really solidified it, the moment that really actually comes to mind to me, of course, there were times before that where he was already being the all-time great that he was, and going on to do all the 81 points and buzzer beaters and all of that. But for me, when he went to the USA team, which was that dream team that we had, the new dream team, with the redeem team with LeBron and all the other guys now on the squad, and how he seemed to stand out from the rest, even in that really grabbed me during that time. He has a 10 there. That's an iconic number that we'll allude back to later on for other things. In regards to me as someone who played football for a little while, I did wear 10 in football at times when I did play, partially because of him, and definitely hold that number dear. That was definitely great. And the other moment, of course, going beyond that, I think the year after that, I think that was 2008 was the redeem team. 2008, we also went to the finals and lost to that other team. But in 2009, we came back and we beat the Magic. And seeing how he led that squad alongside Pals, we talked about in Pals Hall of Fame speech a couple weeks ago, seeing the dynamic duo that played out, that whole great cast that we enjoyed at that time. Seeing what Kobe was able to do now without Shaq, it definitely was a great moment that I held very dear. I think I mentioned it before. I had my room for a while was painted yellow across the top, purple down low. I was all Lakers, all everything. And that was largely because of Kobe and what he continued to do here in LA. So salute to him. Happy birthday to you, Kobe. Always holding you dear, and you will continue to, as we said before, live out your legacy as you instilled upon us. So great things there. Moving on from there, something that I alluded to in regards to Team USA, at least somewhat. We see the current team is playing right now, and all the great guys that are put together there. We also talked about before our Captain America, as we alluded to. The number 15 there, Austin Reaves is there, holding it down for our Lakers and doing a great job. We've talked about how he has, from many people's eyes, has saved Team USA a couple of times during their exhibition games we've been playing so far, and definitely want to continue to salute him as he does his thing. Going to current things, somebody asked him recently if he's been doing any recruiting. We kind of see how during the USA team that one I alluded to back in like 08 it was, we saw how that may have led to some of the initial talks between like LeBron and D Wade getting together, or I think even Kobe and Powell, I think, even though they played, or no, they already together, but there were talks during that Team USA that led to some unity that transpired afterwards. In the same way, we see Austin Reaves maybe doing some recruiting now of his own. We've talked about LeBron may only have a couple years left, so if we're looking forward to the next Lakers, we see that there's a lot of young guys on this Team USA squad. That would be nice in purple and gold at some point. Austin Reaves dismissed it so far, saying that he can't speak on it, but he likes guys he's playing with, so there's a possibility. So looking at this squad that we have here, which is a good squad, including already a former Laker and Brandon Ingram. Look at the
and
squad
Josh
here.
Hart. Don't forget Josh Hart.
I saw that 7 popped out over there, and I wanted to give him acknowledgement. Looking at this whole squad of young talent here, who would you like to see Austin Reaves recruit to be a future Laker at some point?
I was gonna say first too, man. Fans that aren't Lakers fans hate Austin Reaves and hate Lakers talk at any time.
I get it though.
I saw people in these comments like, "Who does he think he is?" Well, like, man, they asked him a question. Like, what do you want him to say? But yeah, I mean, there's some talented young guys here for sure. Couple vets. Realistically, like, who could be on the Lakers team?
As you think, there are these people that seem to like him a whole lot already. Tyrese Halliburton seems to already rave about him quite a bit, and they seem to have a great rapport. So if things don't work out in Indiana, that'd be a nice duo to have down the line. And then someone else who is also a big name and leading the way for Team USA, it seems, Anthony Edwards seems to love Austin Reaves also. So
I mean, Minnesota's going to want to lock him down.
I'm pretty sure he's locked down. But for Laker talk, as you already said and joke about how Lakers do, we can steal him away from Minnesota. That'd be nice. He's already wearing that Kobe tan I already alluded to, so that'd be great. But definitely those two, of course, are top of the list. But they are locked there. But beyond that, do you see anybody realistically being a Laker one day on this squad?
I think I could see. I think it had to be like a younger guy. I mean, I could see I could see BI coming back. And I could see, in terms of a star, like hopefully a Paolo. I mean, I don't think he's going to play out his entire career in Orlando. Hopefully for his benefit. Hopefully not. Mm-hmm. I like the Halliburton pick for you for sure. Also, the coaching lineup is elite for Team USA as well. Wouldn't mind one of those guys being the Lakers coach either. But yeah, I mean, I like your pick of Tyrese Halliburton just as
they
a
weren't
point
fully a
guard.
pick. I was just pointing out guys that seem to already have great chemistry with
Sure.
Austin on that USA squad. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
they are picks, but as you said, those two guys clearly are locked into situations. Tyrese just got paid in Indiana. Anthony Edwards is clearly the guy in Minnesota, so I don't see that realistically happening. But for Laker talk, as we said we do, sure, I'll entertain it. But beyond that, yeah, as you said, I can't see Bi potentially if he somehow leaves New Orleans, as he is not the 1A that they hoped he would be. I can see him potentially going somewhere and us being on that list. Mikal Bridges, I know he's just got to Brooklyn, but as they're in a rebuild and things are bouncing around, it's possible that they find a new number one over there too, and he could bounce here. But I don't know, just throwing things out there. When people would say, as we joke about recruiting, as folks have been doing.
I was trying to think of guys that could fit like the LA mold, and like none of them really like popped out to me other than like Ant as far as like star power. That's why I was saying I could potentially see like Paolo, who is maybe a future star, superstar, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Obviously, like would be happy to have any of these guys on the team. But in terms of like who could be like a Lakers superstar, like kind of face of the Lakers kind of thing, I could see a Paolo, I could see Ant, like you said, Halliburton, just having that point guard. Lakers haven't really had like that elite point guard in a while.
Right.
So yeah. I like those
guys. It. So interesting things going on there. We'll see what strings Ant can pull to get one of these guys in purple and gold at some point down the line. But for now, enjoying him on Team USA, enjoying his individual presence on our Lakers squad, and we'll continue to enjoy what he provides for us this upcoming season as we get ready for this next year to get going. And excited for that. And we'll be tuned into Team USA as that continues to play out. That's it on the grand stage of Team USA. Coming back to LA and what's going on here. We talked about what the Lakers wanted to potentially. We have a roster spot open still. Wanted to add some more muscle alongside Anthony Davis down low. We already have Jackson Hayes, who they seem committed to. But we also saw recently that, as we discussed with our last roster spot, maybe adding one more guy. Javale Mcgee is going to be waived from Dallas. He's a player who was already on one of our Lakers squads before, won a championship with us in that 2012 or 2020 year in the bubble and all of that. Definitely could be a serviceable piece amongst others who we already pulled the names of. Would you like to see JaVale McGee potentially come back to LA and make another run with us?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think the element that he brings that Jackson Hayes maybe doesn't to as high a level is he could bring some more interior rim protection. But I think like they would play like very similar type of roles, him and Jackson Hayes, in terms of
kind of young and over the same player, truthfully.
Yeah, being a rim runner.
Being
a rim runner, probably 18 to 20 minutes a game at most, playing the 5 next to AD. So yeah, go for it.
That being the case, if they are somewhat similar, JaVale being a more mature version, I guess, of that style that Jackson provides, that actually could be a plus.
They can work. So, I wouldn't be mad at it.
The thing that we joke about at times with players, the leadership factor as well. We do have a younger squad now. Yeah, they've brought some guys in, but they all seem to be guys that I believe will fit in nicely over here. But if we do need some veteran presence, I guess, I think JaVale would be very serviceable in that regard. So I can see it.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't think it's like a major needle mover, but
no.
I think it is like it would be a welcome addition to have him, as you're saying, like someone that could be kind of that vet for Jackson Hayes too. So.
With them saying that they are committed to Jackson Hayes as that backup center, I believe I saw a statement from somebody. I forgot who it was, but
backup or starting?
No, backup. He's not starting, but he will be in rotation. I forgot where I got that quote from. My apologies. Now we'll talk again and I'll bring it up. But with him being somewhat cemented in rotation potentially, I would like to see us get another style of play. You want to see us get another guard. You want to see us get another wing, a corner man to our winning time episode we just watched. You want to see anything like that? Add to Lakers beyond the big?
No, personally, no. I think I like the point guard creation that we have between Reaves and Braun and D'Lo and Hood Schifino. I don't know if he gets many minutes this year, but an up and coming guard there. Yeah, so I think we're fine at the guard spot. I like the wing depth that we brought in, bringing guys back
Mhm.
like Rui, bringing Torian Prince in, bringing Cam Reddish in. Um, so I think we're pretty solid. For me the five, bringing in some more muscle at the five, I think would be the most advantageous for us, and I think that's something that they've identified as a need too. So.
Got it. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Definitely, we'll stay tuned. Some interesting things going on here, and some final pieces onto the puzzle here in LA for our current Lakers squad. I'm excited to see how it all rounds out. So good stuff in that regard. On the flip side, we've talked a couple of times about what's going on with the Clippers. Not much news in the building. They seem like they're pretty set on what's going on, but there have been rumblings for a while of a potential James Harden trade. And seeing how things have played out with him in China and how he's talking and all the things that are going on there. Should the Clippers even want James Harden at this point? You think he may be a headache now if he joins the Clippers? Though he isn't where he says he wants to be. We talked about that before with all player empowerment talk. Sometimes guys don't really know what they're signing up for. He could ask to come over here, get here, and get mad again and be in another situation like he currently is in Philly. So with what we see going on with James Harden in Philadelphia right now, so the Clippers even continue to pursue him as a potential piece here.
Yeah, I think they should, honestly, just because of what we've talked about in previous episodes with the lack of reliability of health with their two primary stars in PG and Kawhi.
Sure.
I think bringing in that third star, who's maybe not a superstar like they are, but that second tier star, and who can run the offense if need be, who can score, and just provides another threat, another element to their offense, and then provides some of that stability in the case that you deal with the injuries as well. Obviously, you have Russ and likely that 6-man role to be that stability as well.
Sure.
But I think like the best ability is availability, so it doesn't hurt to have that third guy in there. I think the concerns maybe would come more so come playoff time because he's had his shortcomings there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think between the three of them, the four of them, I think you would feel pretty confident in that group if they're a healthy group going into the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. So I think they should. Harden's an LA guy as well too. Like so in
Right.
terms of him maybe having indecision, as we've seen the last few years, him asking out for trades. I think he'd be happy here as
Mm-hmm.
well in LA. So and it's kind of the end of his NBA tenure coming up on it. So
Sure.
I think he wants to win as well too. I don't know where his priorities lie, but I think he would like to
Mm-hmm.
win a ring. So I wouldn't be as concerned if I'm the Clippers about bringing him in. Uh,
Yeah, as a guy on the back end of his prime, as you pointed to, I still think he can provide enough in a role in LA where he isn't fully the face of the squad, as I alluded to last time we talked, with Kawhi being the leader of the squad, with PG being a clear face of the squad, even with Russ being there and being such a notable figure. James can come in and just ball as he clearly just wants to do without a lot of the extra hoopla that usually is directed towards him, with him being such a figure that he is. So, yeah, I think that can work. I think still they should pursue it. I think get it done. I think it would be a fun pairing for sure. Having all the LA guys in the building plus Paul George. I'm joking. But yeah, I think that'd be nice to have still, and they should try to get that done. So we'll see if they pull the trigger. As I'll ask you, do you think it gets done still? We've seen all the talk going on between him and Morey. Do you think they even still is a possibility at this point?
Yeah, I feel like there's been less discussion about like destinations for Harden recently. It's more so
Yeah,
been about his comments and Daryl
right.
Morey and that kind of thing. Um, if a trade does get done, I believe it will be to the Clippers. Like I don't
Mm,
know off the top of my head like other landing spots that he would end up at. And I think the Clippers is who he identified. Like he didn't mention any other team that like he would want to play for that I
correct.
recall. So if a trade gets done, I believe it is to the Clippers. I think it's probably a similar storyline to how it was with him getting traded to Brooklyn when he was
Hmm.
in Houston. Like uh, we kind of get the media games and the charades and whatever, and maybe Harden kind of half-asses it at the beginning of the season, whatever in Philly. Don't know. But
Right.
he's made it clear he doesn't want to be there anymore. So it's best for both sides that he gets moved.
Right.
So I think it eventually does get done, and I think he does go to the Clippers. Yeah.
Got it. I possibly I like again. We like to see it happen, but the way Daryl Morey can be, very they both can be just very firm on what they believe, and
Stubborn, yeah.
seeing that he's stubborn. That's what I was worried about blanking on.
Yeah.
They both can be very stubborn. But that being the case, he might hold on to James, especially as a guy that he vouched for. Like he went to Philly and brought him in because he still believed James could be a lead. To still believe in him, even though he himself is poking back at Daryl there. I think he may try to hold on to him and try to convince him to stay rather than let him go and have to restart again and potentially upset Embiid even further with what's going on, as we discussed before, with him removing all the bios and all of that. So we'll see how it plays. The last quick question with it, who do you think gets traded first, James or Dame Lillard?
That's a good question. The Dame Lillard talks have definitely quieted down a bit of
It's
late.
quiet. He still posts a little IG stuff. Like he reposted something the other day where his friend was like, "See you in Miami soon, bro," or some little stuff. Like he still posts at it, but it didn't hurt any emotion on either of these deals in recent weeks, though.
Yeah, I do believe Dame gets traded, and I do believe it is to Miami as well. Not sure how quickly that deal gets done, but I feel like it would likely. I mean, it would be better if it was done before the season gets started, because like we know what Dame wants. Like he no longer wants to be in Portland. So yeah, I think the deal gets done as well. I think we finally get it into the trade rumor saga and the running from the grind or not running from the grind discussion points. I think the deal finally gets done. Yeah.
All right. I think Dame is a little bit more forceful. I think also there's a better return for Portland in the deal that could get done in any regard there. So I think Portland, we'll make that happen. So we'll see. Both of those are going to be interesting guys to watch wherever they play at. So we'll be tuned into it all and looking forward to what's next and excited for the NBA season as that is soon to get underway. So good stuff with them. The last thing we'll talk about right now, somewhat with them, as they are great faces and for quite a while were clear faces of the NBA and led the way for what's going on here. And I point to that we don't fully acknowledge when we talk about them just because of who they are, but they are American guys that were faces of the league for quite a while. And we've seen a shift recently. There's a lot more other guys that have popped up in the league who are foreign born. We have Jokic right now. We have, where do you go? We have Giannis from Greece, as he claims. Joel Embiid has got the Cameroon there. My apologies for almost butchering that. Who else do I have? Where you go? Oh, Shea right now is a rising face who's from Canada. But there are many faces, my apologies, of guys who are these foreign-born players now that are popping up all across the league who are
I said
they're leading the way. Oh, say that again?
Luka.
Oh, Luka too. Yeah, that's the picture I was trying to find. My apologies, I had that out of order. But all those great players are players that are face of the league now. Now from elsewhere, from overseas and all of that. So you can see how that shift is taking place. There are still some faces here, but who you think is now leading the way for America as the face of the league? You think it's Ant right now, what he's doing with Team USA, or you think it's somebody else?
I personally still think it's Zion, and I think the league still wants it to be Zion. Like Zion just kind of has to get out of his own way in terms of staying on the court first and foremost, and then eliminating the BS off the court so that it could be focusing on the main thing, keeping the main thing the main thing. We've discussed this for a couple episodes now for a couple different guys, young guys typically too, but as long as we've seen some of the pictures already of Zion in workouts, looking slimmer, looking fit, looking right. Hopefully we get 65 plus games from him. It's hard to be confident that you will due to his first couple injury riddled seasons, but I think Zion, he's still a generational talent, man. Like he's still one of the best rookies we've ever seen too. And so I think he's box office, so I believe the league really wants him to be one of the faces for sure.
Speaking of box office, the person drafted alongside him, who they also want to be a face of the league, do you think, we discussed it before in regards to the schedule, and you said they might not pull back and want the redemption story. Do you think they have pulled the plug fully on Ja being a face of the league, or you think they can still make that happen if he redeems himself properly once he returns?
I don't think they've fully pulled the plug. Like to your point, they can also play like the redemption arc as well too for him. based off what he's gone through and post suspension, his comeback game and all that. Like they can put a positive spin on his off the court issues that he's had. So I don't think they're fully like off the jaw train. Like they already tried to do some of the damage control. They had the Jalen Rose little interview with him, which I don't know if they should have done that one, but they already tried to like start repairing his image early on. So I think because of how electric he is, as you said, he's also box office. I think they would gladly have him be a face of the league as well, as long as he's able to be a true ambassador for the league and be a good representation for them.
Oddly, he's had a lot of success, but he has a fan base as well. But still, for support, whatever reason, doesn't feel as big. Devin Booker is right there as well as a great player. That's been great. There was all the Kobe comparisons for a while and all of that kind of stuff that we don't have to get into. With just that, people saw his talent on display. It was on the USA team himself and all of that. People see what he does. He's been to finals now, and clearly is a great player. Can he step fully into that face of the league title, or you think there's still something missing in regards to what he's doing?
I think
he's not there already.
I think once we got wind of that, we can't double team in summer workouts video. That might have hurt his stock. That might have hurt his stock.
Dang, that's crazy.
No, I think D-Book's elite, and I think he showed it this last playoffs. He was putting up some really gaudy numbers in a couple of these playoff series. They took 2 games off of the eventual champions in Denver. They kind of put up the best fight of any team. And he was a major part of that. He was the best player for the Suns in all their series. KD was still efficient in his own right, but Booker was leading the way and playing some of the handling the playmaking duties as well when CP3 inevitably went down. So I think Booker is kind of overlooked at times, which is kind of like surprising. But yeah, I think he's elite of the young players as well too, and should be in that conversation as one of the faces.
Yeah, it's odd that we're saying he still should be. Like he's a guy who's been in the league for what's been like 6-7 years now, at least, right around there, and has been on the incline or this whole way through. So I definitely think he should be there. There does feel like there's something still not fully cementing him in that discussion, but he definitely is a superstar talent. And I think he may get that fully confirmed this year as he's alongside superstars himself and Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant there. So we'll see what they can do in Phoenix to help him continue to claim that. Another person who's somewhat there, and I think maybe because of the team he plays for, Jason Tatum definitely should be another guy in the discussion. Maybe that Boston Green rubs a lot of folks the wrong way, so they don't fully embrace him like that. But Jason Tatum should be a guy that will clear face the league as well, and still feels like there's another step for him to get to fully claim that title too. What do you think about Jason being a guy that leads the way for us?
Yeah, I think people already like view him as a fringe like superstar, like already like a top 10 player in the league.
I guess my point is that it still feels fringe. Like it still feels like there could be a fall off somewhere when really he already shown that he has enough to fully be there.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it will just be winning a title because they've had the consistency of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals like 4 times in the last 5 or 6 years, something like that. So they've made deep runs. I mean, maybe part of it is just like having deeper squads and like like having like that system around him that's been like built for success. Like since he was a rookie, since he's been a rookie, like he was already like competing deep into the playoffs because they had solid teams, good coach, good organizational structure. So, and he's benefited from that. But I think like his offensive game has improved year after year, and he's scoring with the best of them. He's defending at a higher level as well too. So I think he should definitely be viewed as one of the faces as well.
If you had to pick one between the guys we mentioned, I think we mentioned Jason, we mentioned Devin Booker, we mentioned Zion, Ja, and we mentioned Ant. Of those guys, who would you pick as your 1A to you to give the torch to one guy? Would it be Ant, as we see what he's doing with Team USA, and we see people are making the Michael Jordan jokes and all of that, or would it be somebody else? Who would you give the torch to fully?
I think like Ant is like the perfect archetype of that player. Like he is like the Jordan build, like the 6'7" shooting guard, small forward type that can score at a high level, defend, play make. So it's not a bad bet to bet on Ant. He's got that dog in him. He's
For sure.
a solid leader as a young player. So I do think that that's a good pick. I'm not arguing with anyone who says like he's the future of it. For me, I'm still like I still have my wagon hitched to Zion Williamson. So
okay,
for me personally, I still think it's him. Just as a generational athlete and talent and what he was able to do immediately coming right through the door as a rookie. I just need him to stay healthy so that we can see it fully realized. But those two guys would be the top two for me.
Okay, definitely gonna be tuning into that. For the American side, that definitely is the odds to keep looking at. Obviously, we know the next guys internationally. We see what they're doing with Wemby as the next guy there. So we'll see how that plays out if that fully comes to fruition. But also in regards to USA, have you seen this kid Cooper Flagg? Everybody's talking about now. You think he's even next in line to lead the way for our American guys here?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, he seems like a pure hooper, as like they like to call it. He's got the bag. He's like what, like 6'10", white dude with handles. Like everyone makes the joke like he plays like a black dude. Like he really does though. Like he's very fluid. He's got the confidence of NBA star already. He's dealt with the cameras and the publicity already, and he's still been hooping. Like I haven't really heard anything bad about his game to this point. So I'm excited to see what he can do at I don't know if he's going to do the college route or G League or whatever.
He's looking at colleges. You get visits lined up, it seems. So he may go there if the right college recruits him to do so. So yeah, wherever he goes, I think he'll be great. Looking forward to that. I think the Flagg name, being American born, also, I think it all just fits perfectly. I don't go too deep into that, but he checks all the boxes. It appears so. Sure. Excited to see what's next with him and all these guys here and beyond playing the game as they do. So
he denied the allegations about him like beating up on Bradley Beal in a one-on-one session. He said that wasn't true, but
they put the call in.
But I believe it. Hey, I believe it.
They put the call in and say, "Hey, mark the footage."
He can hoop. What was that footage when LeBron got dunked on in a camp or something? And they erased the footage.
Mark the footage down. Clear that out.
Oh man, but yeah, no, I think he's got a bright future for sure. Like his game looks very polished.
Yeah, so we'll see if a Flagg carries the flag for America at some point. I'm jumping on that early. I know there's got to be plenty of jokes, so let me get mine in early before everybody else does. So good stuff there. Excited for it all. That's really all we got for today. We hit a lot of major things that are going on across the league. Talking about Kobe and his birthday, again, continue to celebrate that Mamba Day and celebrating our favorite moments of him and what's lit by him as our favorite player. Also, Reaves, what's going on with him in Team USA. What's going on with the Lakers here. James Harden, Anthony Edwards being the next guy potentially, and all of that. So yeah, that's really it for today. We'll be back shortly to talk about NFL things. The last week of preseason is wrapping up here, so we'll be back to now jump into predictions and all of that for you guys for the real season. Have a little fun with it as well. Maybe throw in some of our own type of awards to give predictions for and all of that. And excited for the NFL season to get underway. So that's all for today. Any last words from you, Alec?
Nah.
Cool. So that is it. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of 600. Again, appreciate all the love. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe, comment. However you do that, we appreciate it all, and we'll show it back to you. And yeah, we'll see you guys again next week, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.